Well, another Sussex charity who also help young people and their mental health is YMCA Downslink Group. In fact, they're the largest provider of mental health services in schools in Sussex, and they also run two projects called e-wellbeing and YMCA Right Here. As part of this, they have young volunteers who act as youth ambassadors, and we can speak to two of them now, Josh Mustafa and Amaani Al-Azzawi. Thank you so much for joining us. Josh, why did you decide to volunteer for this?
Well, it all started, I think, with my own personal experiences. When I was probably about 12, I kind of struggled with my own mental health, and then I actually went through to the YMCA, and they helped me in my own mental health journey. And I think at the end of it, when I was presented the opportunity to volunteer and to help and support young people who might have been in similar situations, or even very different ones to my own, I knew that was what I wanted to do, because I've always had a passion for helping people. And just to see, like, when you look at the statistics and you see, like, when you're in schools and college and you see how many young people are struggling and how they don't feel that they can come out and talk. And I saw that the amazing work that the YMCA was doing and how it encouraged so many people to come forth, but also showed how many people were still so scared or worried and anxious to come forth. I knew that this was the place for me to go to make an impact that would last.
Oh, well, good on you, Josh. And I think you're right. I think, there is still a bit of a stigma. I think, yes, things are getting better, but people do worry that they will be judged. When you were 12 then, what were the issues that you were struggling with the most?
So when I was 12, I was diagnosed later on, so when I was 16, so it went on for quite a while. I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and this turned out to be something that was occurring since I was around 8. So it was quite a big issue that I suppressed for a long time. I didn't feel like I needed help or I should go and talk to anyone, and so it was something that I tried to deal with on myself. And eventually, thanks to the good people around me, my best mate, I went and got help, and I'm here today being able to help other young people.
Oh, well, listen, I think you're amazing. Also on the line is Amaani. Do you have a similar story to Josh?
Hi. So, in some ways, I think growing up, I did experience some mental health challenges, but as well, I'm studying psychology at the moment, and I'm really interested in the different ways that young people can gain access to mental health services, and especially during this pandemic, how e-therapy and online platforms have been the way that many people can access services. I felt like e-wellbeing was a great service which I wanted to support, so that young people who couldn't access therapies still had the chance to get support online.
And of course, we've been hearing this morning how there's been this increase in young people seeking help since the start of the pandemic. I'm guessing that doesn't surprise you, Josh?
No, not at all. So part of when the lockdowns came about, and with my team Right Here, what we really had to do was we had to knuckle down and really kind of push out these online services such as e-wellbeing. We had to kind of really work out ways that we could help and support young people, remotely. And so the biggest way for that was social media. And I think because so many young people are spending so much time on social media and so much time in their homes, so much time to think, they saw these posts that were constantly coming out every other day, and it really kind of encouraged them and showed them that we're here, we're still here no matter what's going on, and we're here remotely. We were here remotely before, but really, we can really help you now. And I feel like it's something that we really want to carry on with after the pandemic, because it has encouraged so many young people to come forth, and it's so amazing.
I guess as well, the thing about doing it remotely, doing it online, Amaani, you can probably see more people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a huge, there's a lot of research being done at the moment in terms of the efficiency and the effectiveness of therapy, and they've actually shown that for a lot of people that therapy and gaining support can be as beneficial for people in an online environment. And for some people, especially those experiencing anxiety, who may have anxiety about attending appointments or travelling to appointments, and that's taken away a lot of that stress for some people. So in many ways, there is some positives that have been taken that I think will carry forward.
Because I think initially there's a tendency to think, oh, can you really do sort of therapy counselling online? Obviously I'm from an older generation than you, Amaani, only slightly. But I suppose younger people today, you're much more comfortable with talking to people online. That is the way you communicate.
And especially as school and universities moved online, it's kind of just normal now. And I think for young people that they are comfortable with that. So I do think that we'll see a change.
What advice would you have to any young people listening this morning who are really struggling at this time? And also, what advice would you have for their parents and their carers? What is the best thing to do to help somebody in that position?
I think to young people, I think it's really important that what I've found, especially this year, is just finding a couple of things which have allowed me to have an outlet in a safe space for me, where I can kind of just rely on those things to help me. So, for example, it's Mental Health Awareness Week this week, and the theme is nature, and I think that's been a huge part of everybody's lockdown experience, going on lockdown walks, and that, I think that's really been beneficial to lots of people's mental health. So I would encourage that, and also just to kind of there are so many resources out there, and I think that we need to kind of spread the awareness that the access to therapies is increasing, and that just going on to social media platforms or literally Google, there is so much resource there. There's psychoeducational platforms, and there's also kind of online engagement platforms as well, where you can literally just talk to somebody on the phone. But yeah, there's lots out there to be used for sure.
Well, listen, thank you so much to both of you, Amaani Al-Azzawi and Josh Mustafa, and well done for volunteering and being there to help other youngsters who are going through what you have been through in the past.